All right, let's see what we got here. Why is it a little bit blurry? This is crazy. But anyway, now if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help you to be your best version. I help you, to be fully developed as a person, as a human being. And I help you to do that pretty much by helping you to attain your highest level of awareness. That's part of you becoming whole. So technically, as a spiritual healer too, man, I help you to identify the things that you don't really see about yourself, or I help you to identify the non-physical aspect of you. And in essence, that's what spirituality is all about. The word spirit, I help you to discover your state of being, and when you recognize that, and when you come to term and you become one with that, and that's what being Christ-like is all about. Being Krishna-like, become the illuminated one, the bright one, the light of the world. I mean, that's that light. That's that, level of understanding, or that person you became. But anyway, I mean, it's just a whole lot. But in this channel here, what I do, in essence, that's technically what I do. I have L'Esprit channel, which is technically I do the same thing and more. I mean, when I say and more, like in this channel here, to give is to receive, I use what I call the power of words, and I'm going to break that down for you guys shortly. But essentially, the whole idea of either on that other channel or this channel is the goal is still the same. It's to help you to fully become, to attain your highest level of consciousness. So, now, when we're talking about the power of words, this is what I want you guys to understand. What I'm referring to here is what is called, your quotes, your proverbs, those kind of statements. Now, if you pay close attention, obviously a quote and sometimes with a proverb, or, the structure is a little bit different, right? Respectively, that's how we're able to recognize them. But nevertheless, the one thing that they all have in common is that what is being said in a certain way. Ultimately, do you see what I'm saying? Like, when you hear certain quotes, there's a way that those words are being put together. The same thing with, the proverbs, it's being said a certain way. There's a lesson, there's everything it's said intentionally. And when we say, I'll give you a perfect example, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. When you understand a quote like this, not just a quote, but when you understand that, it's like, it's telling you things that even if I wanted to explain to you, the minute I said what's understood doesn't have to be explained, it's like, it's in itself, it explains so much, or a whole lot. Okay, I'm not trying to be too wordy here, because I think I'm trying to be too philosophical today. I guess this is how I'm feeling today. But anyway, let's get it to the to the meat and the potatoes in terms of now I'm walling. I had to catch myself on this one because I felt like I was being too smart for a second. Shit, there's no such thing, but for lack of a better term, in terms of let's simplify everything that I'm saying. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So when we're talking about the power of words, it's how those words are being put together. That's what you see in lyricism. That's what you see in poem or poets. In poems. That's what you see in quotes and proverb. They are being said a certain way. And the way that they're being said, they, for the most part, they are so powerful that they have the ability to take our freaking attention. I know for me, I've heard quotes where, just the way it was said alone captivated my mind. And then, depending on the nature of the quote, That's why some people, you may feel motivational when you hear some motivational quotes, or inspired if you hear like some sort of inspirational quote. But the bottom line of what I'm saying is, what you see in these things is that words are being put a certain way. It's not the ordinary language. I mean, although it is, but it's being put a certain way where it's saying a whole lot than what those ordinary words would actually explain. In other words, when I'm talking about the power of words, I'm not talking about the meaning or the meaning of a word. To me, yes, most people would say words are powerful. You have your intent and your intentions. All of that is cute, yes. But when it comes to power of words, to poem or quotes, the way these things are being said, a word in itself, it's not enough to stand against, or even to somehow be better in terms of giving you a deeper meaning. And that's what I was referring to when I said what's understood doesn't have to be explained. It's like, even by hearing this, it pretty much tells you things that I didn't even say. Do you see what I'm saying? Because this is also saying, hey, listen, man, when we are on the same length, there's nothing else that needs to be said. I already see what you're saying. So anything extra I need to break down or whatever. But I'm saying that to say that would be the actual explanation. You could say so much, but just by listening to that, there's a way that I connected to that directly for me personally. I don't know how connected you may be to that, but for me, when I heard it the first time, I was deeply connected. Connected meaning I understand what's being said here. I got it. It was. Whereas if you were to use words to try to explain what that statement means, I think it would have taken you a longer route versus, these things have the ability to talk directly to our soul, to our spirit. And that's what I call when I'm talking about the power of words. And that's what you see in poetry. That's what you see in great speakers. We understand that. When you hear guys like Tony Robbins, when you're listening to guys like Les Brown, like these guys, they know how to speak. They know how to put words together. And that's why in itself, that is a skill. That is a skill. And it requires a certain level of ability too. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like there's a level of self that is required that, at that point you'll be able to relate that to other people. But anyway, without going too deep into it, because I felt like, I don't know, it's probably one of those nights tonight. That's how I'm feeling now. But to simplify it once again, right? So you already know what I'm talking about. And what I'm saying is to show you, now I'm talking about how powerful those quotes are. They demand your attention. It bypass your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and get directly to your subconscious mind. And that's what I was saying when I said I got it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It got to me a lot quicker. It's like you don't say less. It's also a level of connection that you're also, as you say in those quotes too, that you are connecting with those people too. So me as a spiritual healer, I'm just telling you my credentials. I'm telling a lot on myself here, but then again, hey man, that's exactly what you're gonna get here. That's what you're getting. And that's why for me, man, for a very long time, just so you guys know, like, I have different books on just quotes alone, bro. And not to mention the wealth of knowledge that exists in those quotes or those statements man, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's almost like, you know, it's saying a whole lot with a few words. Even if the whole quote is a paragraph, what's being expressed in it, my God, that's probably, it could be like a book or and more. So that's why for me, like, first of all, I'm in love with the power of words, and I forgot to mention that too. Like for me, it gets me all the time. I witness those words acting on me, because when you hear certain things that hit you in a certain way, you know, those are the words acting out on you. Or when you see church people going, I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, keep talking, or talk that shit, however the fuck you want to say it. But ultimately, this is what, like, it's really, I mean, man, like for me, it's really food for thought, man. You know, I really, like, I nourish myself, man. That's why, like, for me, I do a lot of those quotes. And just so you guys know too, I mean, I was gonna say as a disclaimer, but this is more on the critical side, man. So if we're talking about wisdom and the amount of wealth that those quotes, you know, has in them, so therefore, man, wisdom is always gonna be welcome, man, regardless of where it comes from. You know, like, the truth is always gonna be the truth, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you hear an Indian quote, you don't go, I mean, you may say this is an Indian quote, but you know what's up, man. You know what's up. Like, that shit bypass all racial barriers, bro, like, all physical barriers. That's why when we're talking about the truth, man, the truth, like, in itself, man, that's why that shit is setting you free, man, of your, you know, or any type of material bondage that you may have, to let you know that you are more than your physical body, bro. That's what the truth is. And that's the truth, like, once you really figure that out, or when you really know it, then you start looking at the world around you from a different perspective. Because now you can also identify that spirit in you. Like for me, this is a world of mysteries, man, like full of mysteries. You know? I mean, it's all around you, but you know, you just gotta wake up to it. And not a lot of people, you know, and that's what I'm helping with. I'm helping you with. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. Like, this one really got me excited. This is another one, like, if you did see my Socrates one, you know, where he talked about an unexamined life is not worth living. Man, it's pretty much another one of those, like this guy here, man, for me, it's like, it's fucking incredible. This guy's incredible, man. Like, man, this nigga said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. And yet, you have one mind. So in so many words, he's telling you to tap into another aspect of yourself. Like this guy, he was on one. Yo, he was fully tapped in. I think, listen, man, I think a lot of his shit was fucking channeled. You know, and me as a spiritual healer, come on, man. I know what's up. I know what's up. So therefore, what I'm also saying is, like, you know, there's certain statement that a man, again, it's just, there's a lot more that is being said. Like for me, and that's what I was telling you guys too, like for me, like, just, you see how when I started telling you about Albert Einstein and I was delving into him, it's not so much of even his knowledge anymore for me. You know, it's the spirit that he is. And that's the same thing that I do with now the books that I'm reading. I automatically, like, bypass all the knowledge. I'm looking at the author itself. Anyway, that's a whole man. Why am I even saying this? I think there was a point that I was making, and my, I said I'm connecting this one with. Okay. Let's get back right over here. I think I'm connecting some other dots, that you wouldn't be able to understand, only because you don't know what I'm connecting. Um, but that's dope though. That's dope. So, like for a man to say that to you, man, listen, man, like there's a lot more that is being said here. But anyway, but the one quote that we're going to be talking about tonight, as you see in the title, oh my God, man. This guy had the nerve to say, someone who can follow directions? Imagination is more important than knowledge. Man, you got to slow down on that one, guys. No. This guy's saying too much. He's saying a whole lot here. I feel like a lot of people have not fully, like, this is a channel message. I mean, for a scientist to be talking of, and he was one of the true scientists too. And he was able to see more because he had that inner vision. Because us spiritual healers, a lot of our ancestors, the Egyptians, they were all men of science, man. Or high science too, man. According to the order of Melchizedek, man. No, man, you don't want me to get biblical on you right now, man. But I want you to understand, it's a different set of eyes. It's a different level of seeing this world. It's seeing the world as you're relating to the world. Like, it's crazy. It's almost like you're talking about yourself. But anyway, like another aspect of yourself. Man, listen, man, the self is just, I got something coming up for you guys, man. You're going to love this one. Because I've been giving it some thoughts, and I've been, oh, man. Another channel message, too, about the self. I mean, I talked about it before, but I just want to approach it from a whole different level. So technically, to give you just a quick, I guess, synopsis about what I'm saying to you here, is that I think in one of my recording I talked about, I am that I am. Man, listen, man, if you understand that, man, and this is when, oh man, that, and you know what? I'm gonna make that one of those quotes, so for me to talk about that too. This is crazy. Okay, so that one, okay. So when I talk about that, then I'll link you guys up with that other video that I'm gonna be talking about, and then that way, oh man, you're welcome. Don't worry about it. You're welcome. It's in the house. But anyway, going back to what we were saying here. So those quotes, man, it's like, the wealth of wisdom that is in those quotes. But most importantly, the way they demand your attention, without even asking. It's like, I'm here. And there's no one word that can do that better. It's almost like the way the information is being transferred to you. I mean, it's being, oh man, I mean, those words are saying a whole lot than just using a word or the meaning of a few words. Like, it had to be said, it had to be put together in a certain way. And certain things can only be said on that certain level. And this is why, too, you'll see, and I noticed that, like all of us who have attained that highest level of consciousness, our speech becomes different too. Because now we're speaking from a higher, order of things. I know for me, that's how I know, like, the sight, I know what kind of sight that I'm giving out here, man. That's the inner vision. The way I'm able to take it and in the darkness and give it out to you. You know, all of that is the power of words, man. None of it wouldn't be possible without the power of words. So in other words, even in me explaining the even word to you, I had to say it in a different way. Like, it's, oh, come on, man. Get your medicine, man. Get your medicine. I got it. But that goes to show you too, like for me, that's how infatuated I am with this shit. I love fucking knowledge, bro. I love wisdom. Especially the way these shit are being said. It's unbelievable, bro. It's like, it nourishes me, man. It fulfills me. I mean, that's the part when I'm telling niggas, this is part of me sucking my dick. It's like, man, it's unbelievable, but yet true, man. It has to be experienced. But anyway, going back to Einstein. Oh man, this guy was a genius, bro. So again, he was saying that imagination, it's more important than knowledge. I don't think you understand. So in other words, by him saying that, he understands that knowledge is limited. In other words, he's also telling you that too. Not only that he understands that, but he's telling you knowledge is limited. But your imagination, come on, man. You embody the whole world with your fucking imagination. The world is yours with your imagination. Do you see what this guy's doing to you? This supposedly scientist motherfucker? In a world of knowledge, facts, which is the world of science, this motherfucker got in there talking a whole other type of science here. Oh, I'm calling this motherfucker out. I mean, come on, man. I mean, his science was like, man, it was fully in alignment with himself. How else would a man tell you imagination is more important than knowledge, bro? Especially in the type of environment that he is, well, not necessarily from, but he was part of. The society that he was part of, it was pretty much like those scientist guys, man. This guy used to see, and I remember seeing his movie, and what the movie was saying, he used to see the universe in his mind. That's just being cosmic. That's what we do, our ancestors. That's what us the true spiritual healers, or a lot of our ancestors, the Egyptians, like that's what we do. That's what we do on a regular basis, bro. So what they were showing you by him walking around, and it's almost like in his mind the universe was, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to get you to experience. You know, they still looking at him from a scientific perspective in terms of, you know, what, you know, science is today. And then his contribution to science was so much, but that's what we do as what we call the mystiques. That's what we do. There's a group, an African group, the Dogon. And I think NASA was studying some shit. They went and asked these niggas. These niggas was able to describe exactly certain things. They went and they realized, how the fuck did these motherfuckers know? Come on, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, you are the universe, bro. But that's a level that you need to attain. You have to become that. It's a transformation that is already in you, but you have to let it out. It has to come out of it. You have to excavate that. That's what mastering the man within it's all about. And that's ultimately what I do as a spiritual healer. But most importantly, like, again, this is you have to embrace the mystery part of life, man. Without the mystery, there's no life. You know what I'm saying? You are the magic, baby. Look, I mean, I don't think you understand. And when you understand that, or realize that, or come to that realization, oh man, you become magical now. Hey, I'm not telling you nothing I don't know, nigga. Hey, listen, man. I mean, shit. I mean, I couldn't convince you any other way, nigga. In fact, I'm not even looking to convince you, to be honest. You know, I'm just telling you what I know. You know what I'm saying? My knowing speaks for itself. But anyway, knowledge is limited, bro. Look at a lot of those podcast shows. You know, they talk about relationships and shit. What you truly see is the battle between the sexes. Or better yet, when you look at those guys who are debating. Like for me, I do get my little dosage of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, man, ain't no shame in my game. You know what I'm saying? I watch them just to see who's dumber. Like, okay, I know both of you guys are dumb, but let's see who's dumber. So, you know, and that's when I get to see, you know, the ones who know how to throw the other one off or not answering the question that is being asked. It's a fucking intellectual shit show masturbation. This is why a lot of those debates, the goal is never for you to learn anything. It's just two motherfuckers that says, I got a big dick. The other motherfucker says, I got a big dick too. And then I'm showing you how big my dick is, and this other motherfucker saying, your dick is not big enough. Let me show you how long my dick is. Then these motherfuckers are really showing off their dicks. And then if you're sitting down, you're like in the middle of this, it's like, what do I got to do with this? How is that helping me? Do you see what I'm saying? But that's just another like Jerry for me. You know what I'm saying? For me, that's Jerry. So I'm saying all of that to say, and a lot of them are using what? Knowledge, information, facts. Do you notice both sides of any motherfucking debates both have facts, bro? They have knowledge. But then again, this is what they don't realize. You know, and this is where wisdom comes in. And this is why you need to develop yourself. You know, when Socrates used to question people, it wasn't just the question that he was questioning. He was questioning you. The idea behind it was to awaken that, you know, that genius in you, that examiner in you, that living thinking, that Christ in you, that Illuminati in you. That's what waking up is. And that's that Christ consciousness, if you want to say that too. It goes by many different names. Pick whichever one you're more comfortable with. So now, man, shit. You know, you have a lot of motherfuckers using knowledge. You know. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to say about it. You see, all of that knowledge means nothing. This is why people who has knowledge do not have wisdom. Because the wisdom now is having the ability to, how can I say this? It's how you're using that knowledge. That's why when you become wise, you know, you practice that knowledge. It's you. I mean, it's not something that is just, it's not for you to speak. The idea is for you to be smart, acting smart. To say you're smart sounds good, and that's what you see with a lot of those fucking priests or pastors. They could give you quotes, references, recommend, like all that shit. But to have wisdom is different. And a lot of your podcasts, a lot of these motherfuckers, they have knowledge. They have facts. They could come up with facts. They could come up with logics. And that's why you see between them, what the fuck do they do? They debate between them too. All the logical shit. And they don't understand knowledge in itself is limited. Because your interpretation of the knowledge also matters a lot. Matters a lot. In fact, that's what the difference is in being wise and when you talk about knowledge and people who speak of knowledge. That practical, that illuminated side of you knows how to process that information and even to be creative with it too. Having the data talks about the data. In other words, to say shit just to say shit without you understanding it means nothing. You're just quoting. Like me, I could quote anybody that I quote, but you're going to know that I understand it because I'm going to say it my way. In fact, I will shed light to whatever this motherfucker is saying in his quote. So I'm showing you my understanding of it, even though I might be repeating what the fuck the motherfucker said. So I repeat shit understandably. Whereas these motherfuckers who only have knowledge, they just have quotables. They repeat shit without the proper understanding of it. And that's what the fuck you see. And whenever you are one-sided, you're never gonna see the full picture because you're already one-sided. How the fuck do you have a better understanding if you either Democrat or Republican? You're not gonna see it from both perspectives. Whenever you choose one side, you become one-sided, so your understanding of whatever the fuck you're saying, or even an issue that you're approaching. In fact, you're already approaching the issue like blindly already. Oh my God. You're already approaching the fucking issue blindly. Because you already made up your mind before you see or understand whatever the fuck the situation is. I mean, I would assume if you about productivity or something, or better understanding, then you got to look at both Republican and Democrat. You got to see both. I mean, the good side of both of both of them. Not just to look at it to dismiss it, because if you're saying they both have something good, why would you deny their good part? It should be part of you. If it's good. I mean, how good is it? Do you see what I'm saying? So because for me, that's the way that I approach it. It allows me to see the full picture. Whereas you, when you claim to know or whatever the fuck you claiming that you're doing it blindly. And then at this point, you become an expert of one-sided. It's a special type of dummy too. Like you're an expert dummy now. You become a very expert at being dumb. Oh my God. But anyway, maybe I should leave that alone. But I'm saying all of that, I'm trying to get you to see the practical side when we're talking about knowledge. And that's what science, in so many words, would do. Like a true scientist or the traditional scientist, having a guy like Albert Einstein's talking that way, nah, man. No wonder why he was who he was. No wonder why he revolutionized the whole thing. Because a lot of what he was talking about the universe was, even if you look at the movie, was inside of him. He was living that. That's no different than me, motherfucker. Okay, well, maybe you may not look at me as Albert Einstein, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me tell you, nigga. Like, and I'm saying this, out of love. This nigga ain't got nothing on me, dog. but I do admire it. In fact, he's me. I mean, I see me. Come on, man. But anyway, I'm saying, nah, man, he was a channeler. So with the science, with the knowledge of science that he had, and with him being the person that he was in terms of the connection with the universe, he was a spiritualist, an occultist, however the fuck you want to call that. Yes, he was. Because there's no way you would say certain things without being... He was a mystique, bro. There's no other way. For a motherfucker to tell you imagination is more important than knowledge. Are you out of your fucking mind? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those scientists was like, what? What's next? Then you're gonna tell me God is it's just the greatest thing? Pay attention, man. I'm trying to get you to see something here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm repeating this shit understandably, nigga. That's my version of it. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? And for me, and for you too, for you to know when there's wisdom and when people are speaking knowledge. Stay away from people who speak knowledge, man. I mean, unless if you want to be entertained. Like for me, I do listen to them. I'm good. I'm safe. Listen, I can handle myself. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? But again, I like, that's my Jerry. Jerry. Like, who's the father? Like, that's not. Oh shit! I thought this bitch was the father. Nah, the baby looked like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be looking at this nigga. Nah. I think that baby looked like him. And that's not it? Oh my God. Whose baby are those? Somebody call Maury for me. Whose babies are those? Unbelievable. That's how I look at these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wow. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your relationship gurus, man, like unbelievable, man. Here's something else too about knowledge, so you guys need to understand. And I'm gonna just say this because this is public, because I don't like to, anyway. There's a guy named Derrick Jackson. You guys probably already know about him. He was the guy who used to criticize men very well. Like, it was severely too. Like, he was very severe, man. Like, this guy hated himself so much because everything that he was saying bad about those type of dude, he was everything that he was. And this is why too, I'm always letting you guys know, whenever you see people who doesn't have a balanced view or perspective, and you're always going to have a one-sided perspective. When you hear people are saying this is what men are, this is women, the whole conversation for the sake of, it's never like sometimes I be saying to myself, listen, like, is there any way men and women can come together? Like, because a lot of those shows, when you're watching them, it's always emphasizing on the differences. It's the battle between the sexes. As a man, this is what we do. And then those same guys too, right? They telling you women are emotional. And yet they're using logic to speak to someone emotional. I mean, how make that make logical sense to me? It doesn't make any logic to me. If you're logical yourself, you should know why would you use logic for someone who's there's a reason why they say, and I'm, as a disclaimer before I say what I'm about to say, I am not saying in no shape or form that women are babies or stupid. That is not what I'm saying at all. In fact, give me a second. I got you guys back, all right? I got you, all right? I got you. Don't worry. Don't be offended if you're checking me out. But hold on, I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why people say, hey, listen, man, you don't argue with fools, man. Like, how do you argue? Like, that's like you trying to be logic with someone that's crazy. Now, here's what I was saying. Women are not crazy. That's not what I'm saying at all. Now, in fact, what I'm truly saying here is that, I mean, my example could be a little bit, over like the edge, for lack of better terms. But I said it on purpose so we understand the difference between them or us and them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, me being a Haitian man, how do I speak to the world in just Creole? I mean, I may use a few Creole here and there, but I can't just make the whole conversation like that, because you wouldn't get it unless if you have a Haitian Creole, like, I mean, translator or some shit. I'm saying that to say, our differences, it's for us to understand how to communicate to each other better, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, women, and here's something else too. See, I'm already showing you guys that your logic is not logic. It's not logical by you doing that. And just because someone is emotional doesn't mean they're not intelligent, bro. Because in your logic, by you trying to be logical to a woman, there's no sign of intelligence in that. That's why you do it. Because the minute you become intelligent, you're not gonna be logical with someone who's not logical, bro. It doesn't make sense. So your logic needs more logic. And those are the guys that you see, that are teaching you about women. You know what I'm saying? And it's always gonna be the negative side of it too. They're a disappointment. And it's always going to be a disappointment because they don't know how to approach women. They don't know how to talk to women. And that's, I just broke down your whole men podcast right then and there. You know what I'm saying? From, I don't want to mention any names. But anyway, going back to that guy, Derrick Jackson, right? What I wanted to show you guys, a lot of what he used to talk about used to make sense. There were factuals, there were, knowledge, but there were not wisdom. First of all, his knowledge sounded good. Well, that also depends on your level of understanding too. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, for me, I already knew when he was talking like that, I knew he was not balanced. I knew he listen, man. Anyone who has successfully attained a certain level of maturity in life, you don't criticize others, bro. Your attitude is more of compassion because you have greater understanding. You could see it from both perspectives. I mean, how do I say men is better or women? Like, yo, man, we both got to learn, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Until you understand that we both got to learn, we're not getting better at each other. We're getting worse and worse. Like, if you even looking at those podcasts, bro, it's not helping you in no shape and form. Do you see what I'm saying? Besides establishing or emphasizing on those differences, but not bringing us together. That's what I see, man. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of these guys too, man. Like that's when a guy called Kevin Samuels, another smart guy to me. Like the credit that I give this guy, unfortunately, that's not what I see other people see. Because other people see him however the fuck they're looking at him. Like I'm looking at a great marketer to me. You know, like when it comes to those type of conversation, because he wasn't truly giving you no real life answer. Although it appears to be that way, the man had a show. There was rating. There was a. I mean, I'm not saying that no one can be doing nothing. Nah, but that was in it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then not just that. Like, hey man, the guy was not even successful himself. It's not like when I say successful, I'm not talking about money. I don't know his money, none of that. But I'm just trying to show you. And here's something else too. All your spiritual gurus, you know, a lot of them are not in relationships. So therefore, I mean, you know, I don't get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they're helping you how to be better by yourself, I guess, without saying that to you. Because if you need a company of a woman, like in both sides, like, I mean, you don't have to compromise. You have to become more of yourself. And that's the true. Anyway, why am I even talking about that? The point that I wanted to make here, guys, or the one thing that I wanted to talk about here, is that knowledge is limited, right? Yeah, let me finish up with my point with Kevin Samuel. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing smart or logic about a man telling another bitch like you're 7 and then you're like, I'm just telling you the truth, man. I don't know, maybe I was brought up like differently, like this would like this the one thing, like you said it but you don't like, okay, do you see what I'm saying? Like it's, how can I say this, man? I mean, I don't know if that's what is that what keeping it real is. Do you see what I'm saying? But is it false that every woman is fucking emotional? So therefore, your logic are never going to be appealed to her, bro. You know, the thing is, I feel like we need to learn how to communicate to each other. Meaning, when I say communicate, it's like knowing what to say to a woman in her world that would make sense for you, and that's what you mean to tell her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Like I see a lot of guys, that shit's never gonna work, bro. Like, how do you take a girl out on a date and then you ask her, listen to what I'm saying, am I gonna get some pussy after this? And you expecting her to say yes, bro. Like, you should have gotten yourself a hoe, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're using money to fuck her. Like, you're already doing it wrong right then and there. And none of that is going to appeal to her. In fact, like, you closing her up. Because you're putting her in a situation you're not allowing her to be a woman. How the fuck would she want to fuck you? You closing the door on you. Do you see what I'm saying? And then let me leave that shit alone, man. But listen, man, I would rather learn from a pimp. Not that I'm, promoting anything, but I'm saying at least you would understand the language of a woman, or for you how to communicate to her. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to show you again the limitation on knowledge. But not just that, but when you have a better understanding, then knowledge at this point, oh man, you turn that into wisdom. Everything I just told you there was wisdom, meaning not just, knowledge, but how to interact with that knowledge. Because if you're saying they are emotional, what are you doing being logical? Do you understand what I'm saying? What are you doing being logical? Like, I mean, what type of logic is that? But anyway, but imagination on the flip side of it, oh my God. So I wanted you to keep that in mind. A scientist, speaking of imagination, seeing the world in him and how he related to the world, bro, this nigga was on the cultist, bro. But anyway, another genius of mine. I love a lot of his quotes. Oh, genius, incredible guy, incredible, incredible. And because, like I was saying, let me just finish up saying that about him, right? What he knows and who he was in terms of, how deeply connected he was to nature or the universe, and that's what, I guess he was saying certain things his way, but, we got the sight. Come on, nigga, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, this nigga was channeling a lot of his shit. He channeled his shit. His connection with the universe, and I'm trying to tell you guys, is no different from me in terms of, I don't have the scientific language to break it down, but in terms of, that a little bit of mystery part of it. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. Well, you don't have to trust me on this one. But anyway, now when it comes to imagination, oh my God. Imagination, to me, it's so powerful. Because do you know what imagination really does? It helps you to go beyond the physical, right? That's what imagination is in so many words. But you now imagining different things, you are also expending your consciousness. And here's something else too, and I need you guys to understand when it comes to knowledge and how limited knowledge is. You never ask yourself, if you already know how to read and write from, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, even in myself, I do have a master's, and guess what? I had a teacher. Why? I know how to read and write. And then when you would have his lectures, and then he's asking you, or he's telling you because what that teacher's doing, that knowledge, you can also only your awareness and the knowledge plays a big part. When you develop enough, how can, okay, okay, I'm going too far with it. Slow it down. Let me dumb it down. Let's dumb it down. In so many ways, when you have a teacher, right, they're giving you the understanding of what's in the book. They're helping you to understand it, even though you already know how to read and write. This is why I always tell people, this is a matter of how aware you are. If you're a reader, I know for me, there's been books that I am, fair to say that I'm truly understanding now, that I read probably 10 years ago. Me getting better, gives the book a whole different meaning to me. Whereas it was, the knowledge that was there, my interpretation of that knowledge matters. So what your teacher is doing is helping you to get in some sort of interpretation of this knowledge here, even though you already know how to read and write. This is why then now you'll get your reading assignments. Then in class, he'll get to break it down to you. And then you have your homework now to help you understand whatever the fuck that new thing is. Those are your classes. Then now you could say, I've had accountant 1, this other class 2, then you had this and that. Okay, so you know what each one of these subjects are pretty much about. But it has to give you the understanding, and then now you do the work to fully. But trust me, man, if you develop yourself, this is why, it's backward. This is why it's like school in so many ways is giving you degrees. It's degrees too, small degrees, right? But also it's not truly helping you to be the best you. Because when you become the best you, now that information, you could, what else? What's next? What's next? What else? But that comes with a level of consciousness, again, so that you don't necessarily find in those data, in those facts. The interpreter, like the person processing the knowledge, is the person that matters. That's what they mean in the Bible when Jesus tells you the word kills. Oh, I don't know if it was Jesus that says that, or who said that, but the word is kills because it's death. But the spirit, you give life to those letters. So the teacher now is helping you to give life to what the book is saying, that for you don't have the understanding yet, even though you already know how to read and write. But the understanding in what is being said, that is in the book, that's what you need. And for you to have that, imagination helps you to develop what is called your aha moment. Because the more you go beyond imagination, in so many words, I would not comparing it to meditation, but it does the same thing meditation does. That's why when you have a problem, you meditate on it. What you're doing is, even if you don't, that doesn't mean you're going to get the answer right away. Sometimes you may, depending on how connected you are. But with your imagination, what you're doing is, you are building a stronger connection between you and the invisible. In other words, you are enhancing your subconscious mind. That's what's taking place. Imagination takes you, that's why people will tell you, if you're looking to speak to your subconscious mind, you could do it through imagination. Understand what I'm saying to you. But it's not the imagination in itself that is the thing, it's the connection that is being built. Because when you fully become awakened, this is for the great listeners. Oh man, So, imagination is that bridge. The words got to be made flesh. When we're talking of wisdom, knowledge is just the surface thing. But imagination takes you beyond that. But also, that's why in the occult we tell you, you have to open up your third eye. You got to do meditation. Like at the very beginning, for me, meditation played a big part. Now, I meditate on a whole other level. My meditation, I have waking meditation from the time I'm up. I'm always in meditative mode, nigga. Like mode, man. What the fuck? Like, that's what it had activated. Because what you were doing by doing meditation, that's why they tell you, you are increasing whatever the fuck. That's why you open up your third eye too, to bring a lot of those energy filled in you. Those unknown thing, you making it more known. Meditation helps you to sharpen up your mind. And it's in so many words, it's solidifying your connection with the unknown. And that's what's going to facilitate you becoming you. That's how the words, when they say the words being made flesh, your subconscious now, your words and your action becomes one. Oh, that's godly. Oh, that's very godly. And you become a living miracle, baby. Listen, I'm not telling you anything I don't know, bro. Listen, man. I'm backing it up, man. I'm the backup for what I just said. The way I broke it down and myself. I back my shit up, nigga. I just backed that up. I'm the one who backed it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why there's no way you're going to master yourself if you don't know that other side of you. How do we neglect our imagination? How do we neglect the spirit side of us, bro? That's ignorance, bro. A lot of us, you only identify yourself with the physical self out of ignorance. This is why spirituality, man, it's your daily life. You see what I'm saying? Like, but because I realize a lot of motherfuckers are ignorant, then you probably think like somehow I don't know, man. Like, I got a full stomach and shit. It's almost like that type of conversation for niggas that have full stomachs. You know what I'm saying? These niggas probably don't have a job, or he has a job. Like, whatever the fuck. It's almost some shit with that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man. It's the ultimate. It's you. There's nothing greater than that. What's greater than you, man? Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what makes it crazy too. And I'm going to be talking about that in my, I got something coming up, man. With the people we identify ourselves, man, we're worshiping idols, man. How exactly does a piece of clay or a cloth makes you feel more important, bro? Oh, I'm going to break that down too. Man, you know, that's because you don't see your self-esteem. You see your net worth. A lot of us, we've been trained to look at who we are through what you have. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man, let's just be honest about it, man. This is the world that we're living in. That's why it's called the Matrix. Or this is what the Matrix is, man. Those false things that we're attached to. Due to our ignorance, bro. And now you have people that are killing for this shit. All kinds of shit, man. That's what I'm saying. Your reality, what we're living now, is not a coincidence. It's been built this way. There's nothing civilized about none of this shit, bro. I mean, the only way for you to truly be civilized, you would have to be in tune with your divinity, bro. You see, that's when the civilized is to be divine, bro. Otherwise, all this other bullshit, it's just bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you're not civilized because you drink this, you don't drink that. All that's bullshit, man. It's false identity, bro. It's identity crisis, bro. That's all that shit is. You know what I'm saying? No wonder why you can't be yourself. You know, like, and I went through it myself, and that's how I know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I understand, man. It was, it's the fucking image. The car that you're driving, it shows what type of person you are, the type of people you hang out with, the club that you go to, the amount of money you're spending, and all that, man. This is why, I mean, it's not a coincidence that now you have social media where you have a lot of influencers, man. You have motherfucking niggas that are renting home to show you that they're living large. That's what your influencers are doing. There's a nigga, whatever the fuck, man. Like, this nigga, what, 27, 28, when he comes out, he woke up from his bed and shit. Like, you would think it's fucking Prince Akeem from Coming to America, man. This nigga comes out of the shower, somebody hands him a towel. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is staged, man, to show you the type of life he's living. And that's what your influencers are. I mean, what is it that they're influencing here? What's the influence? It's vanity, bro. And the niggas are hiding behind this shit to give you some spiritual shit, to validate their shit. Like, nigga, if you're gonna talk some spiritual shit, you don't need none of that shit, man. Just sit down and talk your spiritual shit. Like, would I need to show you, you know what I'm saying, like, how I'm living to kick some spiritual shit to you? It would take away from the spiritual shit in itself. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? That's what your influencers are. Niggas are inflating your mind. So now you want to get a mention too, and they're renting that shit. And now you want to be like them. You're following them, a fake ass motherfucker who's renting shit. I mean, I'm not addressing one person here. I'm just saying the whole influence as a whole. That's what they do. Don't look at one person. Look at what it means. Because I'm not here to talk. I mean, shit. I mean, nah. We ain't doing that. I'm giving you something greater